Hello everyone, I'm Lori Lines of Higher Self Access. I am a QHHT Level 3 practitioner, and I'm delighted to welcome you to this special project. Today marks the second installment of a truly remarkable journey that Ben and I have embarked upon over the past few years. Through the transformative power of QHHT and coaching, Ben has cultivated a very profound connection with his higher self, his gateway to the boundless well of universal wisdom. On September 10th, 2023, we came together for a unique experience, a higher self Q&A session. This is not just any Q&A, it's the heart of a humanitarian endeavor that we have committed to, a yearly tradition when time permits. I reached out to all of you, my cherished friends and subscribers, both on my personal and business Facebook pages, asking for your burning questions about the mysteries of our world. Your responses flooded in, and I'm immensely grateful for your thoughtfulness. Ben, on the other hand, had no inkling of what queries awaited him. It's a testament to his dedication that he embraced this challenge wholeheartedly. I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to him for his unwavering commitment to this project, a journey that is as enlightening as it is enjoyable. I must also acknowledge the invaluable support of my producer, Matt, whose tireless efforts have not only made this YouTube video possible, but also fueled our shared mission to deliver quality content for your enrichment. So without further ado, I invite you to join us as we listen to the higher self speaking through Ben, offering insights into the profound questions that you, our community, yearn to explore. This is a journey of discovery, wisdom, and unity, and we are honored to have you here with us. Thank you for being a part of this incredible endeavor. Let's dive in and embrace the wisdom that awaits us. Thank you. Okay. Now, is it okay to start with these questions?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. One of the questions is, will aliens become a part of our society in a real way anytime soon?
They will be revealed in the coming years for sure, and they are already among us. It's about the ability to see them for who they really are.
She also asks, if so, are they benevolent?
Always.
Okay.
The word benevolent implies beneficial, that are working for the benefit of others. And they will be a source of aspiration that will help humankind aspire to be like them. And that is their service. I would not use the term benevolent in that regard.
What term would you use?
Aspiration, that they will create a point of attraction that humankind will aspire to achieve, to pursue, to aim for. And because most humans don't know what that looks like, to not even know where to aim or orient or point to, these beings who are advanced will provide that point of reference, that sense of direction, that object to journey toward in the way of their energy and their beingness.
Is it my understanding from what you just said that there are no aliens with negative intentions here?
There are negative entities here, and they too provide a point of reference to draw one to, but it is a matter of you choosing what attracts you. So picture, if you will, you are standing on a piece of ground and there are two mountains, one to your right and one to your left. The shape of the mountain is either attractive to you, the observer, or not attractive. And you will choose a mountaintop to head toward because of its attraction. You are attracted to it. If you are attracted to a positive-oriented alien, if we use your term, alien, then you will step off in that direction. If you instead are attracted to the other mountain because of its shape, happen to being a negative-oriented alien, you will step off in that other direction and choose for yourself. Both will be here, but the negative entities are waning. They are not here much longer. They cannot exist in a positively oriented environment. So the window is closing for them on the negative pathway.
Thank you. The next question is my own. You said in our last session, when we addressed the bifurcation going on in our world, and you talked about it as a split in journeys. In this point in time of our rotation, you said there was a split of 3.
Yes.
1 of the non-advancement.
Yes.
2 of advancement.
Yes.
One's choice in service to self, service to others, and then no choice or neutrality.
Yes.
How does one ascend in neutrality or no choice? Can you be more specific?
You don't. You have not made the choice, and therefore you travel between those 2 mountains I just described. And you must do so in an environment in which it too has not made a choice. And that environment supports those who have not chosen. Before the current time, this planet was that environment in which the choice had not been made yet, and therefore the environment supported all 3 types that you listed. But once the environment chooses, and in this case, this environment has chosen the path of the first mountain, the path of positive polarity, then the other 2 cannot exist here. And that is the phase we are in, where the other 2 paths are leaving.
Thank you. This other question comes from a friend of mine named Rashid, and he writes, I have a question in regards to the collective known as the Council of Saturn. Where do the members of the council come from, and what is their function as it pertains to the confederation of planets in service of the one infinite creator?
The Council of Saturn was formed in order to oversee this Earth sphere during the time of no choice, which I just described. It is comprised of entities from all over the galaxy who bring with them their wisdom. So it is almost like you would use the term a committee under which it sits below this federation you refer to. So it is there to ensure that free will and the deference, the respect for choices are enforced, so that if an entity chooses for themselves the first mountain of positivity, that their journey is allowed to progress without attack. And the same for the choice of the second mountain of negativity. Again, it is honored and protected by the council. And that the neutral entities who have made no choice are safely relocated to a new environment where all 3 can reside and choice is still open.
Okay, thank you. Next question. What is the ultimate goal for humanity?
What is the ultimate goal for humanity? That is an odd way to ask the question. Humanity is simply a spiritual vessel in which to experience the creation. So the goal of humanity then becomes the experiencing the creation.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. The experiences in each cellular shift, does that put the collective in the advancement realm of 5D or more?
The cellular shift refers to the body. All of us are comprised of body, mind, spirit. The cellular shifts will shift in order to contain the spirit as the spirit progresses, ascends, transforms. So it is somewhat of an individualized answer that as an individual advances their spirit, their cellular makeup will adjust to match and support the spirit.
Thank you. Now this one is, I'm just going to read what they wrote. It's kind of long, so if you need me to repeat any of it, please let me know. The Ascended Masters and the angelic hierarchy always encourage and advise us to work through our ascension in groups, as more hold the same intention for more light and love to flood into the world. The more light they embody, and their ascension can be accelerated. How can we, as starseeds and lightworkers, as groups, as most of us are surrounded by people who are not, quote, awake, and we cannot force to awaken them if it's not in their soul contracts or not time yet? And then he says, I think it's a he, I'm not sure. Do we focus on becoming a vibrational match to attract other lightworker starseeds into our lives, or do we seek them out? Or should we allow our higher selves to determine when and whether or not we are allowed to work in groups if it's in our soul contracts?
So it is first important to recognize that you are a divine aspect of the one Creator, and that you were cast into the creation in order to know oneself. It is difficult to convey that your journey is unique yet part of oneness, and that the journey is always back to the one Creator. So in the first part of the question about the Ascended Masters, they represent those that are closest to the Creator. One might refer to them as 1 degree removed from the Creator and 1 step from oneness. And as a soul progresses along their journey, that oneness becomes more prevalent. So when the questioner asks about a family or a group of folks to work with, they will, through, I'll use the term magnetism, they will come together. There is nothing that can keep them apart. And so if the questioner is asking, how will I find my soul family? The answer is, stay on your path, and they will intercept you on your path.
So my understanding is you're saying basically stay in your own lane, stay in your own path, and those that are meant to awaken will, and then those that are not won't. And then
correct. The circumstances will play themselves out in that you are meant to merge or intercept those who have a similar path of awakening. And it is not your assignment to pull, drag, force, coerce any other entity to join you or intercept you on your path. Though it may look as though because you had an interaction with self and that interaction was real, in other words, you saw, spoke, heard, interacted with this other soul, and yet they choose another path, in your terms, to choose not to awaken, that is of no consequence to you. You served your purpose. You touched their timeline, and they will at some point refer back to that touch and realize what that meant to them on their journey.
Okay.
So when one uses the term to stay in your lane, it is best to say, stay on your path, and the other paths that cross yours or merge with yours or parallel yours are as they are.
So I'm understanding this, that the question, the second part of the question was, do we focus on becoming a vibrational match to attract other light worker starseeds into our lives? And so I'm hearing from you, just stay on your own path.
Match to, this is the error, it is the word match. You are not trying to match another's vibration. You are striving to match the one vibration, the one, and you will be off frequency your entire journey until you rejoin the one creator. You will always be a variation off of that frequency, which tells you that you will always be off a frequency of any other soul in the journey back to oneness. You cannot match any other frequency until you have matched the one. And at that point, everything is that frequency.
Thank you. The next question is, there are those of us who are called to work with the spirits of master plants. What is the role that these plant spirits play in our ascension process?
Those plant spirits are also a point of attraction. They are we will refer back to the story of the mountains, and the plants are there in spirit to keep you on that path. They serve others. They are a guidepost that can help some stay on the path that they choose or desire that they want to be on. They are also, because they represent spirit and they are unbound by the mind that humans, they are able to cleanse one's energies in the body by suppressing the mind.
Very good. Thank you. Here's a big question that we humans, lots of humans face. Is autism caused by vaccines? Some people believe that autism is caused by vaccines, and some people believe that autism is really an ascended being.
Autism is an altered state of mind, and it is caused by the environment. Yes, definitely. It is caused by the environment, whether that be an injection or consumption of foods that are unwise to consume because of their toxicity to the mind and to the body. They are no further ascended than a person without autism.
Okay, thank you. What are some practical steps to create spiritual communities that bolster exponentially the collective ascension?
Anytime that you can come together in any grouping of 2 or more persons for a common purpose is an example. So you see this frequently in what you call your churches and your religious institutions, in which people come together and pray, sing, eat. They have come because of a common belief system, but it is the fact that so many souls sharing a common experience and a common purpose furthers the community. So one does not need to wait for a church or other entity to arrange the event. You and others who share your belief system or your attitude toward a topic could easily form, schedule, arrange an event that could just happen once and would still further the community.
And when you say further the community, does that mean that community can ascend?
If that is the purpose.
Got it.
If that is your reason for assembly, you could assemble for any number of reasons, and even those that aren't awake assemble. They do this all the time, planet. And it is not for the purpose of ascension. It is the purpose of community.
Mm-hmm.
It is up to the community to determine the purpose of the assembly, of the coming together. And coming together for the purpose of ascension is just as noble as coming together for simply mutual support and friendship.
Excellent, thank you. The next question is, I have seen so much on the topic of narcissism, especially with the type of world that we live in. How does the higher self view narcissism in individuals? And she says, according to many professionals, it is something that has no fix. How can one help someone close to them with this personality disorder? Or is it a personality disorder?
It is not a disorder. It is not a personality disorder. It represents someone who is experimenting, if you will, with the resonance of a service to self path. So someone who you identify as a narcissist may find attraction to that path and ultimately choose the path of service to self. And that is not wrong or denied or less of value than one who chooses a path to service of others. Some who earned the label narcissist found that they were not attracted to that path of service to self, and on their own freedom of choice moved away from that. In terms, one might say they cured themselves of their narcissism. And in other cases of what is perceived as a narcissistic person, they could be anywhere in that spectrum of either experimenting with the negative path, choosing the negative path, or swinging back toward the positive path. So the presence of narcissism alone cannot tell you where they are in that journey. There are other observations one must make to determine or to guess at that other person's path.
Yes, higher self. I as a QHHT practitioner, I agree with you, because I had a session with a gentleman who definitely saw his narcissistic patterns, and right before my eyes.
And that individual was using narcissism as an experiment for himself to soul. And you witnessed the end of his experiment and the realization that service to self did not resonate with his soul.
Yes, it was beautiful. Thank you. The next question. As we are shifting to a higher vibration, there appears to be a lot more cataclysmic talk around the 2030 date, from pole flips to solar micronova or coronal mass ejection, supervolcano eruptions, etc. On this current timeline, is this likely to happen, or will the shift of enough people to higher vibrations alter or stop these potential cataclysms from happening circa 2030?
2030 is a major milestone for the Earth journey, and the manifestations that the questioner raises are the observable consequences or observable events, necessities that are required in order to solidify the decision that the Earth sphere is a positive polarity Earth. And as stated earlier, the three communities of souls on this Earth, as we approach this 2030 milestone, only one of those three communities can stay. And what humankind frequently refers to as the alternate Earth is actually not an alternate Earth. It is a different sphere in the universe for which the other communities can thrive safely. You tend to not comprehend the vastness of the creation, and this idea of the split is better viewed as a relocation event for the two communities who cannot reside on Earth after that milestone.
So where will those people be going? I was under the impression that New Earth was a state of consciousness, not a location. Am I wrong?
As shared in previous sessions, there is a difference between consciousness and environment.
That's right, okay.
The environment must be suitable for the consciousness to experience itself in that environment. So the relocation that you ask about is quite vast. Those negatively oriented entities who have chosen the path of service to self will be relocated to a planet or a sphere where that environment has elected to pursue that path of service to self. The middle community who have yet to make their decision could and will be moved to spheres all around the universe or galaxy where the environment has not yet chosen a path.
Got it.
Where this differs is, imagine that you are on one of those planets out there and you are in an environment that has not yet made a choice. And yet you, as an individual soul, have fully polarized to a polarity, say, service to others. Then upon your bodily death in that other sphere, you could incarnate on this sphere because it supports those of positive polarity. There is frequently an exchange of souls among the spheres.
Thank you. Another question is, should people fear artificial intelligence?
No, it cannot survive outside the environment, and yet you can. You are pure natural consciousness. Mm-hmm. You can traverse time and space, and artificial intelligence is bound here or wherever it was anchored. Mm-hmm. It does create new challenges with regard to the mind, but not to the spirit.
Can you elaborate on that? The challenges to the mind?
The mind is the producer of thoughts in regard to your interaction with the environment. And artificial intelligence might challenge one's thinking, or might even do the thinking for you, but it can never replace or answer questions of the soul. Mm-hmm. So recognizing that you are body, mind, and spirit, artificial intelligence is at the moment limited to only competing with one's mind, not yet one's body, nor definitely not one's spirit.
All right, thank you. We have 2 questions left. How are you doing? How's he doing?
Very well.
Awesome, thank you. So the next question is, why so many mass shootings during the shift? Why are so many children being sacrificed? Can we help tortured souls to see an alternate option?
You might label the shooter as a tortured soul, but what if that person was a volunteer? What if that person, that soul, volunteered to do a dark thing as a catalyst for other to ascend or advance? Imagine then your compassion for a soul who knowingly takes on a difficult assignment and does so for the aid of others. It is a painful and heart-wrenching thing to volunteer to do, But in the end, the deaths that we experience in the physical environment are only the death of the body. And perhaps those souls that were in that situation either volunteered to experience that or needed to restart their lifetime for their own development. There are countless reasons for a mass shooting that we could not possibly cover all of the variations. In the end, there is the challenge of compassion or understanding that is stimulated in all souls impacted by such a tragic event. Again, the earlier question of what is humanity's goal, it's about experiencing the creation. And the creation is limitless in regards to the number of experiences and the variety of experiences that could be invented. That mass shooting represents a invention for the purposes of experiencing the creation and growing the understanding.
Thank you very much. What is the reason or lesson for humans as a collective to experience child trafficking in such large numbers?
This activity is easiest to describe as a tool of the negatively polarized service to self souls. The only way to polarize in that direction is to have others relinquish their free will to you as their decider. So the sad nature of that activity is simply one tool of many that those who choose service to self would employ. Those who either have not chosen a polarity or are chosen as service to others are appalled and disgusted by that tool, that technique, and that is perfectly understandable and can be viewed as a catalyst on reflection of those incidents. When you have that feeling of disgust and sadness and anger, it is a beautiful indicator that it is not the path for you. You will go in the other direction, in the service to others path. But how would you possibly know what disgusts you until you have seen it?
Yeah, or you become aware of it's happening.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Is there anything, High Self, we're done with the questions, is there anything, High Self, that you would like the collective to know about this juncture in time, the timeline we're on?
The Earth sphere is a difficult environment, and that is recognized universally. It is a contributing reason why the Council on Saturn was established, as asked earlier, that with everything in the creation being an experiment in order to know oneself, this experiment has proven to be one of the most challenging and difficult observed. And you are very brave for embracing it and undergoing it. So there is admiration universally for those who have experienced at least one lifetime on the Earth sphere. But please know that you are on a path of ascension, and all of this experience that has been gained, both beautiful and painful, is important for the one Creator to know itself and to experience itself and to have compassion for itself and all of creation. So do not lose heart in the future. You are always, always moving toward the one Creator. And serving the purpose of experiencing oneself. It can be hard and it can be fun, and both are necessary in order to be able to measure the other. You would never know what fun felt like if you had not experienced pain, nor know what pain feels like if all you lived in was perfect bliss.
Thank you. If you found this video helpful or valuable, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in a QHHT session or any other kind of hypnosis session, please visit my website at www.lorilines.com and let us know in the message box if you'd like to see more videos like this and would like to participate by asking those burning questions inside of you. I thank you for listening, and I wish you love and truth. I am Lori Lines.